Welcome to the Feminine Mind. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, depending on where you might be on the planet today. It is a pleasure to be here today. We're counting day 16 after Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica and other islands within the Caribbean, including Haiti and Cuba. So, starting off by always sending all the warmth, love, and support and prayers to all of the survivors who are struggling with rebuilding following this hurricane. So, tomorrow I have less than 12 hours to go. At 6 a.m. tomorrow, I will be starting my 24-hour live stream fundraising to raise support, raise funds again for survivors of the hurricane. So please make sure that you tune in. Please check out my GoFund link and make any donation that you can make. So, moving into the video, after the past few days of me making content about the hurricane and like showing different people's views, people really airing their frustration about not feeling like they're receiving the support that they really need, people warning others not to give money to the government. There's been a few things that I've shared, and I've tried to be quite balanced, especially the last video that I did in my approach to sharing these different perspectives. But one of the very interesting comments that I've been seeing, I should have screenshot the comments, right? But on my shorts, more than my videos, I've seen a lot of people come back and say, look, you are literally either I am PNP, okay, or I've been infiltrated by watching PNP influence content. And I thought at first, the first couple of comments, I didn't think much of it, but as it's continued, and I've seen that there's this issue happening on the land, which is people are being advised not to complain about how they feel about the government's approach to the hurricane relief. People are being advised not to complain because it looks bad on the country because everything's on social media. But on the other hand, people are definitely trying to exercise their right to freedom of speech because this is not about any of Jamaica's political parties. For those who don't know, that's the two major parties are the JLP and the PNP. The JLP are presently in power. And so, because some of the critique that I've shared and shown on the platform is really questioning, well, is the government responding quick enough? Why aren't they releasing the funds on time? Why are certain communities not being visited up until now? It is not a week after the hurricane. We are now on day 16. So we're counting 2 weeks and counting. So these are fair questions. And these are the two different sides of the argument. Like some people are like, put up and shut up and trust that the government will be doing the best that the government can do. And then the other side is like, no, we have to stand up for what we feel is right. And we have to address what's happening as and when. We can't think about how things come across on social media. So because I'm sharing this content, and this channel is called The Feminine Mind, it's a thinking channel. You understand? Recently I've been just sharing some content, but if you check my content, this channel is about critique, it's about analysis, it's about weighing different arguments. It's a thinking channel. So I would like to explain what party I actually support. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't need anyone to accuse me, essentially, or to make decisions for me. So you have JLP, as I said, Andrew Holness. When I think of JLP, I think of Edward Seaga. That's a prime minister many, 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 many terms ago, but very significant nonetheless. And then you have the PMP, and I think the leader is Mark Golden. And when I think of the PMP, I think of like Michael Manley, Norman Manley, again, many, many decades ago, very significant. And so these are the two different parties, and they've had different times to be in power. But one thing I'd like to explain is growing up in Jamaica, like politics has become a lot more palatable because I remember as a child, when it was election time in Jamaica, right? Like I was living in Manchester, thankfully, because we would hear about a lot of politically influenced taking out assignments, hits, people who were getting hit left, right, and center, people who were either very significant within a political party or people who were connected to them. And as you know, or some of you may know, there is a history of very violent political warfare when it comes to voting, etc., in Jamaica. So making a decision about what political party to support, oftentimes people base that decision upon where, the decision the family has made is very loyal. It may not be rational, the decision. So, like my family from Manchester, not my parents, because my parents are Rasta and they weren't voting for anyone, right? But like my grandparents, you understand? They were PNP. I think Manchester was very PNP growing up. And then my family, who were like from town, Wattos, Trenchtown, etc., they seem to be more JLP. But again, like even living in Jamaica up until the other day when they had in the lockdown, they decided to pull an election. You can see people purchasing voting power in different communities. So for that reason, I want to be 100% transparent about what my political persuasion is and why. And before I say that, because it's not going to be a long video, I am going to do the Chrissy Carter, CMR Carter video on Saturday because I start the 24-hour live stream 6 a.m. tomorrow. And I think that video needs time and I need to make sure that I get some rest. Basically, I need to sleep, I will wake up and come back. So if you want, depending on like who turns up throughout the day, we could do it while we're doing the live stream because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. If you look at my community post, I've also posted where you can click the link to come and chat to me in the video. So please come and let's make this interactive. And I've also put the GoFund link so you can make your donations. And if you don't have it, just share it, If you don't have it, I just say, I would just appreciate if you would just share the GoFund link for me. So with no further ado, let's get to, am I JLP? Am I a JLP? And I have dual citizenship and 2 passports, so I can vote, just so you know. Because I notice everyone makes a lot of assumptions about a lot of things. So am I JLP or am I PNP? Because I don't really appreciate being accused of either. And that's because I have sat down and worked out who is the leader, like who is the ultimate Dandada leader that, and that leader for me cannot reign within the ranks of politics. So as much as I've come here and I am going to, if I see that wholeness or any MP, or if I see people keep slipping when it comes to repair in Jamaica, I will address it. But my political persuasion is actually a spiritual persuasion. And so I'm not PMP. I am not JLP. I am of the kingdom of the Most High. That's where my allegiance is always. Do you get what I'm saying? Never, ever anything less than that. I'm not casting votes for PNP. I'm never going to cast a vote for a PNP or for a JLP. I'm not interested in that. If the Most High guides me accordingly, when some new party come in, that maybe, I'm not saying I never will, but my allegiance is with the Almighty Creator, maker of the entire existence and all countries on this planet, and absolutely not in the pockets of leaders who are as human as I, and also because of my immediate heritage as a Jamaican, not in the pockets of leaders who have demonstrated time and time and time again that they're not to be trusted further than you can throw them. Do you understand? So I'm not going to agitate animosity unnecessarily. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm a grown woman, but I'd like to be 100% clear. Like, I am not pro any political party. And if anything, I am definitely gearing myself up to manage my expectations. And this is why I'm really happy that Jamaica is not just relying on any given political party, public servant, because as you can see, this is a humanitarian effort to restore Jamaica, and it has relied heavily upon the hearts and kindness and love of people, not necessarily just political entities. But if you put yourself in the, if you decide to say, okay, I want to be endorsed and voted in, and I'm going to be a leader, then you will be held accountable. And who better to do it than someone who truly isn't politically aligned? So when you see my content, fret not. My only alignment is with the Most High Yahuwah. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't have any alignment with any human playing leadership roles on this planet, because in the grand scheme of things, that also is a myth. You understand? So I hope that makes you feel better. I'm sorry if you're disappointed, if you were hoping that I was pro orange or pro green. I really, my personal lineage, my personal family lineage, specifically my paternal family, has been so heavily influenced in the 70s and 80s by politics. One day, I'll pray and I'll ask the Father if it's okay for me to one day, you get what I'm saying, come and speak and share a very deep story about a very close family member on my father's side and what's happened with the whole legacy. And I can hear it inside of me. Yes, I will have to share it, because it's not just a political thing. These things have spiritual ramifications as well. You understand? These political warfares, political different areas taking out different people being paid to prey on people from different areas to sway a vote. It doesn't just end there. It doesn't just end with that vote or that year or that decade. And in my family's instance, it has had such serious ramifications transgenerationally and definitely generationally that I could never sign my signature on any voting ballot. So, on that note, I'll see you guys soon. So, I'm finishing filming this video at like 6 p.m. So, it'll be out soon. So, within 12 hours, please hit the notification bells on both live streams tomorrow. I'm doing this for my country. I'm doing this because I really just want people to give to the GoFund. I really have people who need help immediately. And obviously, we can see people who need help. But one hand can't clap. And as they say in Jamaica, every mickle make a muckle. One cocoa full basket. So please come with me and let's raise some money. Let's make some impact. And thank you always. Have a beautiful evening. See you soon. Blessings and love. My name is Linnea, and you are tuned into The Feminine Mind. Stay good, walk good, and remember, there's only one leader ever. And there has only ever been one leader. And anything outside of that truth is not only a myth, it is a delusion. And wherever there's delusion, it's a breeding ground for all forms of extended foolishness and iniquity and corruption. All right. Bless. See you tomorrow. Bye.